Welcome to Cage Minds. Micah Frankel. BYB is debuting in the Duke City January 11th. And first impressions are huge. And the company coming with a big card for the first time out. We get two championship bouts. One of those, a vacant title on the line, co-main event. Our guest right now, Javon Wright, going to be a part of that fight. Sir, thank you for the time. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me on, sir. I'm doing good. Ready to fight. Almost there weight, so can't complain.
Almost on way. We're a couple days out still from the fight. What has camp been like? How you feeling?
Camp been pretty good so far. I mean, cutting the weight. I'm almost there, so I've been getting ready. Training with some real good guys, some real good boxers, and a couple of one or two bare knuckle boxers. So I'm definitely gonna be ready for this fight. I'm ready for that championship.
Fighting for the belt. It's vacant. We know the camp that you put together and where you're repping is St. Louis. So you give us a little more detail about who you work with out there?
Well, yeah, I work with Jared Daniels Block. He's my boxing coach. I got a strength and conditioning coach, Adam Flowers, and then all the guys that I was working with over at Wolves. Then Drew, Andrew, Mob, Sean Woods, and everybody. Well, I recently just moved to the West Coast, so I'm in Long Beach now. So I've been out here for about a month and a half.
What kind of challenge has that been moving while preparing for such a big fight?
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. I've been doing a lot of the training and a lot of the weight cutting on my own. I've been just I got out here with a guy named Bobby. He does a lot of bare knuckle boxing with the Shark Irwin. So I get out there and I started working out with them recently, but it's been pretty much me just pretty much just cutting the weight on my own for the most part.
You still feel as confident as ever going to this one with these little obstacles popping up, sounds like there's a little bit of movement within the team.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm always prepared. I'm confident always. So I don't really see him being ready for me. So I'm just gonna go out there and do what I do best and get that title.
We know that you come into the ring with a lot of experience. You had a quite an MMA career before transitioning, and it looks like you went some boxing, some kickboxing. Why did you land though on bare knuckle?
Well, I mean, my friend Jerry, he had told me about it a couple years ago, but at the same time, I was still, trying to take off with my MMA career. But lately, it's been I've had a lot of knee problems, and this just hasn't been able to keep up with the grappling part aspect of MMA, so I had to make a switch.
And a switch that obviously looks to have been a beneficial move with the success that you're having.
Yes, it definitely was. So I'm gonna stay on this turn, keep winning, win some more belts, get my name out there. My biggest thing is to get my name out there a little bit more. Hopefully, people get more eyes on me after this fight. So I don't do a lot of social media. I've been trying to up my social media game. So I usually let my hands do most of the talking for me. So I've been trying to get my name out there a little bit more.
Came into the sport with a bit of experience, like we said, from MMA, and you gained some notoriety right away because you took on a pretty famous name in Robert Duran Jr. What was that fight like going against an experienced boxer for the first time in bare knuckle?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, like you said, I got some experience in boxing, but it was definitely fun fighting an experienced boxer with no gloves for the first time. But yeah, we went at it. We got fight of the night, and it was definitely a fun night. And like you said, actually that fight actually got me more ready for the second fight when I fought McMillan. So I was already pretty much prepared still from that last fight.
What were the adjustments that Duran fight made you realize that needed to happen to really be successful with bare knuckle?
Well, I know in that fight, I was moving a little bit too fast. I was too many punches, steady swinging, not head movement, not really doing nothing. And I realized that I need to just slow down, take my time, have a little fun. Because the fight with Durant was my first fight back in almost 2 years, so I was more excited just to get out there and fight. So after that second fight with McMillan, I took my time, picked my shots, head moving, everything. Just make sure my cardio was good. So I mean, I had a lot of just. It was just mainly just to calm down and just fight my fight.
So you look back at that Durant fight, you say, I probably had too much fun that night,
I did too much.
a little bit too much. How much do you feel you catch your opponents off guard with, we know you have some length to you, but it looks like you're more than willing to get on the inside and work the uppercuts from the single tie.
Well, like I said, a lot of that comes from my MMA background. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a long fighter, but I kind of like to fight close up. So this actually works out perfect for me because, like you said, with the grabbing and fight, the grabbing, the clinch, and everything, it actually plays to my strengths. So.
Was that something that you thought was going to be, a strength right away coming in, or was it something that you felt throughout these first two fights?
I kind of figured it was gonna be a strength for this fight because basically that's the biggest thing is you got to be able to fight close, you got to be able to clinch, and you got to be able to fight on the inside. So it works out perfect for me.
How much different of an experience was the McMillan fight that second time out there after you got the fun out of your system and you took it a little more as honing in on it? How'd you feel about that performance and what was the experience like?
I was really excited about my performance. Like, I mean, when I after the fight, I feel like I didn't do a lot. I feel like I didn't do a lot. But then when I watched the video, I was like, okay, I did better than I actually thought I did. So it was just a learning experience. I took away from some things from that fight. Like right at the beginning when he dropped me, I realized I wasn't keeping my hands up. And then right after the drop, I made the adjustments to start moving my head a little bit more against him. So it was actually a great learning experience against McMillan. It showed me some things that I was lacking, and it showed me some things I can work on.
You have two fights in the company, and now here the third one. It's a championship opportunity. You surprised by that?
A little bit, because I'll be honest, I wanted to at least get one more fight under my belt. But I guess with Alexandre moving up, it pretty much opened the door for me to fight for. So you know me, I ain't turning down no fights. I mean, even if it wasn't for the title, I would have took the fight regardless. You my weight class, I'll fight you. So it really doesn't matter. It just happens to be a bonus. It's a title fight.
Does it add more pressure, more excitement? What does the title do for you, like just thinking about it, getting the announcement about it?
I realized that this is my chance to get my name out there a little bit more and get more eyes on me as a person, and hopefully it'll flock people more to what I'm doing and helping me out. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, hopefully more people will allow me to come to their gyms and work out. Just to train with some of their best fighters and whatnot. So it's mainly the title is mainly more of me just helping me get my name more out there even more, basically.
Coming out to New Mexico, the elevation is always something we talk about. Your other fights for the company, I believe, were in Colorado. So do you feel like elevation is something you take into account?
It always I've literally most of this fight and the last fight, I spent most of my time, wearing hoodies and sauna suits to already, hear me put me up there. So the elevation, I start at a handicap when I'm sparring and when I'm working out. So that way, once the actual fight starts, I'm already good with the elevation because I've already been in this familiar situation.
Has the success with Bare Knuckle surprised you from coming into the sport? And it's been quite a year in the sport.
No, I mean, I've always knew I could fight. You know what I mean? I just needed a chance to showcase my skills on a stage that was fit for me.
Well, what makes this fit for you?
Shit, pretty much growing up fighting on the streets of St. Louis is pretty much what did it for me. Like I said, I was like, I grew up fighting, having to protect myself, all that. So, I mean, just basically, I mean, bare knuckle brawling is basically, fighting on the street with a little with people who actually know how to fight. So, I mean, it's basically just growing up. It's basically just growing up for me how it was. It's basically the same thing growing up.
What does that mean to you to be able to implement these skills now and have these opportunities and like really put it on display?
It's actually a blessing for me because this being basically growing up fighting, and now I'm actually getting paid to be able to take care of my kids and do whatever I need to do to pay bills. So I'm always grateful to be able to do what I grew up doing and be getting paid for it. So
And you mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, you moved across the country recently. How are you expecting that move to also benefit you?
um at the moment, not. Of course, I'm not expecting it to benefit me right as soon as I get here. But hopefully, with me getting my name out there more, I might meet more people out here who fight, or even just regular celebrities who can help me get to other boxers or kickboxers or anything. So hopefully, one day it'll work out for me.
Looking across, well, it's not even going to be across the ring, about 6 inches in front of you when you toe that line, when you guys are standing right in front of you, it's going to be Walter Sarvia. What do you expect out of your counterpart and the kind of war he brings?
Yeah, I can expect them to try to walk me down and try to knock me out with his punches. So I just got to do what I do and keep him at bay.
What do you think is going to be key then for you doing what you do to have that success?
The jab is definitely gonna be the thing that I'm gonna have to use against him because, like I said, I think I might have like maybe like a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage. So my height and reach is definitely gonna be the key to this fight.
Is it a different way to look at the sport now? Have you like gotten there 2 fights in? Do you feel like you're not just fighting now, that you're starting to like be a tactician in there?
Yes, I am. I'm starting to learn. Like I said, I'm starting to learn the ins and outs, how certain people move, and what works best for me for each fight.
What will it mean to get that Police Gazette diamond belt?
It'll mean everything. I just can't wait to have my hand raised up with the belt around my waist. Hey, first chance for me being a champion as a pro, and I can't wait for it.
And one last one. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Recent Instagram post got the wolf mask on. The wolf is ready to eat. What was the thoughts?
I'm hungry. I'm hungry for a title and hungry for food because I'm tired of cutting weight.
BYB 35 Albuquerque Brawl here in Albuquerque, Rebel Entertainment Center, January 11th. We'll see you all out there. Javon Wright, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. You have a good day.